Well, here we are in our own little world, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. For those of you that are new, this is Lisa, Paper Lace and Bling. And we are starting on page 2. Just a reminder, there was page 1. And we added an extra flap to page 1. And then we have the file folder. And this is the back of the file folder, which is... The file folders are, the front is page 1, the back is page 2. All the in-between stuff are going to be photo collages because there's not a lot of room for anything else. So that's what they're going to be, which means we're going to get loads and loads of pictures in this thing. So that is always very nice. So I had gone through, if you watched me on my earlier video, I didn't get some of my fingers clean. I was out gardening. Yeah. I went through everything on an earlier video, which page is going to go where, since I only have 10 of these pages, and, you know, some of those are got cut apart, so you don't even have that many. So this one's going to have to be augmented with something, because we do have, quite a gap. Although... there is some of that here coming back over here. I could put this on top. That might be interesting. Uh-huh. Let's see, what's on the other side? Oh, pretty much the same thing. Yeah, same thing. So we'll see if that's going to work for us. And then I had chosen this page to be page 3 because it was a short page. And I think this, I love the stripes. Love the stripes. Gotta have them. And I cut out the guy because I do believe I'm going to fussy cut him out. Now, I could cut this strip off here. And that might be a little more to my liking. And a little more fitting what, yeah. Yeah, that's going to be the ticket, people. That's going to be the ticket. So I will cut the other side of my favorite gentleman out of here. Okay, so let me get that done. I hope everybody's been doing well. We have had some very dry weather here recently, and so I was out watering. Put some more potatoes in the ground. And, oh shoot, I did cut off a little bit of his sleeve. Dummy. Yeah, dummy. Oh well. His sleeve will be just fine. Okay, so now the only thing we need to figure out is, are we going to do the same thing on this side? Okay, I'm going to put you over here. Are we going to do the same thing? Because I can do another magnet on the page. And, you know, fold this under and have a... But I don't know that there's any reason, although this is a side that I can do stuff. So let's see what I've got here. So this, I thought... Let me get my scoreboard out. Oh, let me get the longer one because this is heavy and I want you guys to be able to see what it is that I am doing. No, leave that on. Okay. So, I think, so I've got the tab. This is folded on the natural fold. And I have the tab. Yeah, I have the tab against the edge. And I've got the file folder up against this edge. And let's see what we're going to do here. I'm thinking I'm going to... do this at 2.5. Let me find, well, this one will work. 2.5. Just take your time, because this is thick. There we go. All right. And then we're just going to, actually, let's see. We do need to cut this first. So while I have this out, let's get a measurement. And I think I'm going to make it a little smaller. I think I'm going to make it the same width as the edge of the cut page here. That didn't get cut. Let me just get my little scissors. Okay. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. But I'll have to cut the same amount off both sides. So, or, you know, give or take a little bit. Let's see. All right. So my pencil is over here. So I'm going to make a mark here and make a mark here. That way I am going to still keep my tab in the center. I think file folders for a man having all these tabs is perfect. Just perfect. Okay, and then this one. Okay, yeah. And get this back out of the way now. And put my little... Okay. So, now, how does that fit in there? That fits very nicely. And fold this down. Okay. So I can put this here. Oh yeah, and then it would look like a very, get on your magnet there, buddy. Oh, is this one? There we go. Do. Yeah, I can glue that right there. And then these can get glued down right here and be like an attaché case or something. That will look very good. And of course, I didn't cut this one straight. There we go. Of course, I didn't cut that one straight. Okay, so I do believe I'm just going to, okay, and then again, first, we need to figure out what we're going to do here. Let me find my cheat. Here it is. All right, and I still have a piece of this. And this is what I have on the other side. So I think I will continue with this because I think this will look just fine. And maybe I'll do that with each one. The front and back will be the same coloring. Okay, so if you guys remember, you line it up at the top, make a mark. So it's just past the dip on both sides. And then we're going to draw the edge out. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this first. Alrighty. Put that in my little tidbits. And then we're going to cut inside the marks. All right, so let's see how we did here. Very nice, very nice. There we go. Okay, so now we need to ink, and we're going to You know what? This would be a really fun place to put a waterfall. So, let me entertain you. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. My husband came in, show me something, and it was worth it. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm going to do a waterfall, and I'm thinking that I want to add some gusset space to this puppy. And the waterfall is definitely going to be on the same side as the flap. And I think I'm going to do pockets on the other side, because there's not going to be too many pockets in here. But that would be a good place, I think, to put a couple pockets. So I will need, I'm thinking more like 1/4 of an inch. But I think I'm going to round it. I think I'm going to round it. And you guys have seen me do this before. I'm going to remove that. And so say I'm going to work at the 2.5 mark. Let me just make sure you guys can see this. I'm going to work at the 2.5 mark. Let me see if I can get you, if I can get everything where you can see. Okay. So I'm at the 2.5 inch mark, and that's where my original score is. So now I'm going to move the score line, and let me just put a dot. I think you can see that a little better. I started to realize I wouldn't be able to cover that up. So now I'm going to move this score line to the left and put it right in between the 2 score points. So now I can't score on my original score because it's in between 2 of the score marks. And I'm going to score again. And then I'm going to move that score to the same spot in between. And I'm going to score again. And that actually gives me an 1/8 of an inch score line from the original line to the 3/8. Now I'm going to go the opposite direction. So my original score line is back in the score, the 2.5 mark. So now I'm going to move it to the right so that the score line is on the ridge, not in the grooves. If that helps, ridges and grooves. And then I'm going to take the one I just made and put that to the right, in between, so it's on the ridge and not on the groove. And I'm gonna run it again. So now I have a total from here to here, 1/4 of an inch. But it's all scored, so it'll give me more of a rounded look than it will just a folded look. And I'm going to do the same thing on to this as well. I'm going to move to the left the original score line from the file folder. Put it in the center between the 2 grooves and do another score, and then take that score line and put it in between to the left the 2 grooves and score again. Now I'm going to put my original score mark back at the 2.5. I'm going to move it to the right so that it is in between the two grooves. Score again. Take that score we just did and put it in between the two grooves. And score one more time. Okay, so that gives us a nice rounded, let's see. Just going to give it a little bit of working. Sorry, I'm just giving it a little bit of working so it kind of, I'm just folding those over around my finger so that they are the way they need to be. I think I'm going to shorten this up a little bit, and I'm going to do the corners. But I'm going to take off because it's getting too close up into the fold area of the flap now that I have done all of this with it. And again, and then I'll move you back out. I am going to take my finger and push all of those score lines all right. And now that I've shortened that up, you can see now I have a nice little bit of room. Okay, so let me put you back out now. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, so we're going to put this back. And I am going to leave this for a few minutes. We're going to close this up. Let me go ahead and put my little cheat thing away. Put this in here. Put this in here and close this up. We're going to move this out of the way for right now. All right. Now, how about let's do something a little different. Since I don't have a boatload of paper, let's use some fabric. Kind of straighten all these out. See, I don't really want cigars. That one's nice with the writing. The rulers are nice. The big numbers are nice. And then the map is nice. Let's see. Let me remind myself one more time. Well, I have this paper. And this paper. Okay. So I think maybe these two browns will work in there. All right. Close up again. I think we're going to try and work with those. We could possibly use a little bit of that one. Let's see. Or, well, it's got quite a bit of pink in it, although, you know, most men aren't afraid of a little bit of pink. Yeah, I think we'll leave that one. All right. So let's see what we can do here. See, and this is not a new folder. This is, I mean, it was in fairly good condition, but it's written on, it's got gluey bits, it's sticky there, you know. So, all right. So let's see what we can do with these fun little pieces. Now, this is going to get glued down. Or is it? No, It's not. That you will be able to see this. Okay. Because I just had a fun thought. So we're good. We are good, I think. Well, let's see. A magnet, though. We will need a magnet. So the first thing I'm going to do is find my magnets. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, that's the first thing I'm going to do. Here, magnet, 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 magnet. Where are you? There you are. Okay. So, I'm just going to need one at this point. And I'm just going to put it right about here. There we go. Okay. It moved a little bit, but you know, center section somewhere is going to be just fine. Now, I do want a little bit of this to come around to the inside. And I'm putting this just below all my score lines on here. Because the score lines will remain seen, but we're going to distress them puppies. So let me get okay, so there's that. And you guys don't need to sit and watch all this, so I shall return momentarily. Okay, guys, so what I am going to be using is glue all, just the Elmer's glue all, to adhere my fabric to my file folder. So I'm going to put some down here. See if that's going to be enough. And then this is just a silicone spatula. And it works wonderfully for this kind of thing specifically. Spreading liquids. Alright. I could not tell you where you can find these, but I tell you, I am looking for them. I am looking for them, so. Because I think they're a great tool to have in your arsenal. Because it's clean. You don't have to go and wash it. Which I hate doing. Okay, so I am first going to start with my ruler paper. And I don't know, it tends to look like that's the upside down, if there is such a thing on this one. I'm going to take about a 1/2 inch past and just let it lay down. And I'm going to lay that material on that glue. Okay. There we go. Just give it a little bit of a bone folder to make sure that we are... I don't know if it got all the way down here. It did not. So let me see if I can move this. All right, I believe we've got it. And then I'm going to just cut that off. I'm going to go ahead, make sure there's no glue down, and I'm going to go ahead and seal these. Pull it around so that you're not getting any bubbles. There we go. And it's clean. Don't have to go and wash that brush. Okay, and then I just put a little bit on this side. I'm just going to pull that around. Okay, so there's my first one. And I believe that I'm going to want to do this side as well. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I'll be able to figure it out. So, gonna have it go almost up to the edge. I've got a nice dark edge on there, so it will, and let's see, I need it. All right, and I didn't need anything, no other, do I need? Oh, I do need to keep it closed, but yeah, I need a, okay, where are you? You were right here. Where, oh, right there. Okay, I do need, let's see, if I stuck those right there, that would be great. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Here we go. Little piece of this. And kind of want it in the center. I'm just going to find a spot. Take this off. There we go. Now, let's get this spread out, and I'm going to have to add more. There we go. Okay, let's get this spread out. Yes, I love these tools. Okay, and then just leave a little edge at the top. Okay, cut. Leave about a 1/2 inch. And that still leaves me a nice little piece here to put on something else, somewhere else. Now I do have some glue. I don't want it to get all over my goodie. And then we're just going to put a line here and put a line here. And you notice that I've got this little piece here. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the material, and I'm going to pull this piece around just like that. So I've got it here, and I'm going to pull it around just like that. Okay, So now we're just going to put a little bit more glue on that part that is now facing us. And then we're going to pull everything over. That got that a little gooey, but it will dry. There we go. All right. Clean my spatula. This silicone stuff is just fabulous. Okay, so far, this is what it's going to look like with that material in the front and the back. Love it. And next, I don't know, do I want this here? And how much do I have to cut off? There is enough that I can fold it all around, I believe. But will I like that? Let's pull this back around. Yes, I believe I would. And there is a... It's not really the same color though, is it? Do I have anything else? I have lots and lots and lots of material in here. So let me see if I have anything else that I like better. Okay. So I'm going to leave this right here because this is what this is going on. Let's put this over here. So let's see. That could work. That's nice. Okay, so far, too small. There's pens, there's the earth and mappage kind of stuff. There's that. Gosh, I think this is it. It's almost perfect. Almost perfect. What do you guys think? Oh, it's a little short though. What about this way? Oh yeah, we can do it this way. Now we can do it right to the edge. And then we can use something else on our tab. And that would be a super amount, much easier. And I will need to get my, let's go ahead and do that. Get another magnet. Come on. You remember you want to slide these off. There we go. So, find the way it's going to work the best. I just don't want to forget it, and if I don't do it while I'm thinking about it, you know how that works. Come on. That's a little better. Okay, so there, that's ready. All right, so there's that side. That's too short, or there's this side. I think I will do this way. Okay, so let's see how much I need. Pencil, I think, will work. So I want to cut it right there. I do not know if my cutter will cut this, but I'm going to try. This is the Precision Pro, so I'm sorry I'm not going to bring it over for you guys to see because that is way too hard. Because it is a heavy piece of machinery. This needs to go back so we can get in here. There we go. All right, so where's my mark? Here's my mark. Everything's straight. Well, it definitely cut where I had paper, but then it wasn't happy. Oh, that scissors on the floor. But it did leave me a line in the sand, so to speak. Right. Let me give it a little, you know, kind of finger press. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. And because it has this little piece of paper on it, doesn't change the way it works because it's just a little piece of paper. So I am going to figure out where I want to cut it over here now. And pull it down. And I don't have anything that makes these big zigzags. So it's just going to be straight on the, well, I suppose I can cut this off. Just like that. Almost straight. Okay, let's see. Actually, I'm going to fold this very first fold mark down. Push the rest of it into play here where it needs to be. Here we go. Oh, come on. My magnet keeps grabbing and working against me here. Working with a file folder is a little bit more difficult than working with just cardstock. There we go. Okay, I just wanted that to be a little more pronounced so I could see what the heck I'm doing here. Okay, so I do need to cut off more. So first, I'm going to figure out how much this direction. So we're going to cut right here. And this has got a nice line to it. that I can follow. In this direction, not this way. So, there's that. Whoops. So I'm going to make a line over here. And a line over here. And then I'm getting my Timmy. Come here, Timmy. Come to Mama. Where's my line? Right there and right there. Yeah, because it wasn't cut real straight to begin with. You know me and straight. Holy Toledo. Okay, I'm going to try this. Huh. That does not look like it's doing anything besides dulling the blade. So I need a cutting mat. I do. I need a cutting mat. And I'm trying to remember where I put them. Hold on one sec, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, so got the cutting mat. Definitely works way better than on glass. And I know that that cutter doesn't like working on glass anyway, but I do it because sometimes I just get lazy. Don't we all? Oh gosh, I just want to cut the corner and make that work differently for me. But it's never worth it. It's just never worth it. Put that back for another thing. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. I do have a few unravelly things here. So just going to get rid of those because this is an unravelly type of material. I'll leave that little tidbit because I might want it later. Okay, so let's put our glue all down. I'm actually going to open it up this way. Spatula. And I did not put enough on. If you can't get it all where you need it, then you didn't put enough on. And these file folders do absorb this glue way more than cardstock does, because it's not really made for that type of deal. But we are making it work for us, because that's what we want. And what we want, we get, right, ladies? Okay, I'm going to pull this forward just a little bit more. I might have to add a little something else. Onto the edge. Pull that back just a smidge more. Okay. And then I'm just going to take and cut off at that slant that I've been putting on everything. Just cutting the material off at the slant. Okay, so now there is our lid. Good job. And I do have a section here that I will want to do something with. Not worrying about it right now, but there will be something that'll go up there. Okay, now let's see about this one. And I'm just going to overlap it slightly. Leave myself about a 1/2 inch to fold over. Okay. Overlap slightly. And then what am I going to do down here? I don't... Let's see, if I put this, that's not going to be enough on that side. Because that's there, that's there. But that won't give me enough. Shoot. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut another piece for here. Alrighty. Alrighty. These can go back. Okay. And let me pull this back out again. I wonder... yeah, I could put this here and here, and that would give me enough. That would give me enough. Plus, it would bring the parts that I want, you know, bring it all back together again. Okay. Okay, so what am I going to do in order to cut that? And do I want to put these first and then have that lay over the top of it? Or do I want this to lay over the top of those two? I think the latter. I think I want to see this on the top. So, if I put this right smack dab center, both directions, I will have room for this to overlap both. Okay, so it is definitely wide enough to do this. Now we just need to, yeah, 1/2 inch on both sides. So that made that easy. Okay, now I can put all of this stuff, oh no, these don't go anywhere. All of this stuff back. Trying to keep my area nice and tidy so I know where everything is at. Okay, so let's open this up. Make sure we're getting this where it needs to be. All right. I love it. I love it. This is so much fun, guys. And, you know, there's nothing, I think a man and the material, but if you're not doing a man thing, you can still do material, or you can just do the paper. You know, that is just going to be totally up to you. Totally up to you. Now, I want to make sure that I'm getting myself in the middle. And I'm leaving myself enough to fold over on both sides. Went a little wide. Okay. So I am now going to go ahead, put some glue on this side, put a little bit of glue on this side, and then glue in the center. So you get it all the way on all of the edges. Okay. And I think that's pretty straight. Let's see. There. Come down just a little bit. There we go. Come on. It got folded. All right. So now I'm being gentle because the material is just cotton, and the underneath material, as you know, has a little bit of mind of its own. All right. I don't know what my puppies are in there doing. And this is like, feels like it's absolute just paper. Just paper. Okay, let me get this cleaned up. And then all right. So I'm laying this down so I can kind of get an idea how much onto each one of the material pieces I need to, you know, how wide I need to go. So I'm going to get this right on the edge here, and this right on the edge here. And then we're going to circle around, and then I'm going to let this sucker dry because it just feels like it is a wet rag. Didn't want to do that. Now this glue all is perfect and inexpensive for doing gluing material. The gal that does the cardinage, which is putting material on boxes, she uses the glue all, so you know you can't go wrong with it. All right, so we're just going to lay this one down, and I'm using my grid to also help make sure that I'm straight. So there we go. I'm just going to work that in, and we'll be ready once this dries to move on, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll be back in a minute. Love ya. I am going to go ahead and glue these strips down. We'll do one side at a time. Right up at my... There it is. And then just like you do on a book, pull the edges over. Unfortunately, I don't think this glue all is going to work well enough. So I am going to use just a little strip on both of these. Okay. So now I'm going to pull this over. Oh, this folder is just sopping. Pull this over. Okay, I'm gonna put a few of these puppies on here. Alright. Make sure I have a few more binder clips here, and let's go ahead and spread some glue across here. Okay. This one over. Now that Fabri-Tac has been on there since the last one, so it should snag it a little quicker. And just be careful if your file folder is really damp that you are not over folding. The material stuff, that just goes right onto that glue all. But okay, guys, just gonna let it dry now so that it will be a happy camper. I think I'm gonna find something nice and heavy and flat to put on it. Alright guys, see you back here in a little while. Love you much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting me. And I'll see you guys later. I think this turned out really nice. I'm very happy with it. I have decided to leave this one just the way it is, but I will do it on the inside. And I wanted to go over, we have a magnet on the outside here and a magnet on the outside here. I wanted to make sure that we remembered to do those. And then we have a magnet on the inside. Now the one on the outside that is here is what's going to help hold this down to the page. And then these two magnets obviously are closing this bad boy up. I did want to take the most outside score line and score it. I mean, you know, fold it nicely. And then this most inside, or the furthest, you know, the two furthest ones that we did. That's what I'm wanting to do. Okay. So, and now, but it's rounded. So that is good. That is good. And I am still going to put something across the top here. I just don't know what yet. But we need to do something with the inside because you are going to see it. And I'm going to do a waterfall here and a pocket here. So I can get a couple of large tags in. So it'll probably just be one pocket, maybe about yay high. Well, let's see what I got here. Well, I guess about yay high will work just fine since that's what I have. Let's see. So I'm going to cut it about here so I'm not wasting. And score this here. Well, let's just do it the proper way. I'm going to score this one so that this piece is all on the score, all on the flap, okay? And then we can utilize that to our advantage. And then, well, I should probably wait until I get the paper cut. Now, I have chosen this striped paper, and I was trying to figure out if I liked it going this way better or this way better. I'm thinking I like it going this way better. I think. But that's probably what I'm going to do. So, let's get this at the proper length. And I've got 2 pages because it is going to take more than one to cut this. So I'm going to cut both of these at the same time. Let's see, I am videoing. Good. All right. So now we've got a little more scrap. We're going to do the one. And I'm not going to get onto my score marks. That's why I wanted to fold both of those so I could see them better. So we'll go right about there. Yeah, right about there. And we're going to have this go all the way up to the top. So I'm going to cut that one. Okay. Did I do that wrong? I did. Oh, for heaven's sakes. You guys were probably yelling and screaming at me. No, don't do it that way. Okay, we're still going to use it because I tell you, these lines are a... Holy Hannah. They are very busy. So, yeah. It's a good thing most of it's going to get covered up. So I'm still going to do this, and I'll show you how. Since we'll cut both of them at the same time, putting this like this, making my cut, and I'm just going to cut them both, just back behind here, cut them both at the same time. So then they will be exactly the same size. And this maybe will work over there. I don't know. So let's see how I did. I think they can be a titch shorter. Yeah. Let's just do a little teeny tiny bit shorter. And you guys just do the same thing I'm doing. You don't need measurements. You just make it fit. You just keep playing around with it, making it fit. Okay, now I need that there and that there. Okay. And we have our magnet down there that goes onto the other sheet, so we don't have to worry about that. We're done with all the magnets here. So I am going to ink these up, and I'm not going to bore you with that. And I'm going to get this one down, and let's see if I do this one. Yeah, dummy. Well, I wouldn't have been able to do this one anyway. So then I will use this other sheet and my nose itches. What does that mean? You're going to come into money, or somebody's going to visit you? No, money I think is your hand, isn't it? Oh my gosh, I haven't thought about this in a long time. Your nose itches, something's going to happen. I don't remember what, but something's going to happen. Okay, so then I'm going to do this one just below the score line here. And then I believe I'll do the same with this, but I'm not sure yet. I'll have to see what it all looks like. Of course, now remember, on this one, you're going to have a pocket over here and then big tags, so you're not going to see much. This one, we're going to have a waterfall, so you're not going to see much. So maybe having this there will be just the ticket. Okay, so now that I have this sheet, I'm going to lay this right at the edge and make a mark. And then cut myself. And I'm going to do it not with scissors, because I want my leftover pieces to be straight so that I can use them. Okay. And for the pocket, we're going to, well, one of them, we're going to get our corners. And got to ink this one as well. And I'll put something different on this piece. And I'm going to have to do this angle on there as well. So it will go right along with that. Perfect. Oh, it looks very nice. Looks good. Looks good, looks good, looks good. Okay. Yeah. That's good stuff right there. All right. So I'm going to ink everything. I'm going to cut this the same way I cut this, except hopefully not this way. Just, you know, just this way. And I will come back for this one so that you guys can see. Be back in a minute. Okay. So I found this card in the on the page with all of the cut aparts. And now, first thing is, if you know that you want to use this as a pocket, you can make the pocket around this instead of trying to, you know, make the pocket, make the tag fit the pocket. You can fit the pocket to the tag. It just won't go end to end, which is fine. But I did want to have a large pocket for large tags. So I'm totally happy with this. I think, however, because I do want to be able to get a couple of tags in here, I am going to do the same, the same thing I did on the scoreboard where I showed you, where I move it just to the, you know, the in between the two grooves. And I'm going to do it towards the inside, so I'm actually going to make the pocket just a little bit smaller. But I want this to be larger than just a single score line. So I'm going to go ahead and make this second score line. And then just get the, it's hard to make sure you've got this straight, because because there's nothing to line it up with. So my method doesn't really work very well with this one, but there we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now it's got about 1/8 of an inch. Yeah, it's a little smaller than 1/8 of an inch, but it is there. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to put the score mark on. Let's see, let's do it this way. I'm going to put the score mark in between two grooves. So it's against the center of a peg. Make sure you're straight. And then go towards the inside and do another score line. And let's get this and then just fold this under. There we go. Okay, and then pull that back out so that we've got a little bit of a score line. And now this will have to be cut again. No, it won't. It'll be good. It lines up. It lines up just fine. Oh, I got little things falling out of that cutter. Okay, so it should line up just fine. So then what I did with this is I took the top and the bottom off, which had these two gray lines, and I cut them. So I'm going to make it a double-edged line, or I can flip it this way and make this a wider gray and then the dark. Oh yeah, I like that one better. So it's a wider gray and lighter gray and then the dark gray. Yeah, I like that a lot better. And this one I haven't actually trimmed up yet, but slide this underneath. Yeah, and that's going to help me fill in the rest of the card, and I think that looks really good. Yes. Okay, so that's where we're at with that. Now I still haven't inked. I got to finish cutting this one out, but I just wanted to bring you along so I didn't forget to tell you what I did. Okay, back in a flash. Okay, so to prep the pocket with my pieces that I've got, I went ahead and made myself a copy paper piece that fit just the way I want this to fit. And so I am going to be able to prep this and cut off any excess and have it just the right size. So just a thought for you guys, if you want a slightly easier way of doing it. Okay? Alrighty. Back in a splash.